No problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
Hey, what's going down, people? It is your boy, Marley Bet, and this is Brothas N Bets MLB show. And when I'm talking MLB, y'all already know I got the homie Moose Money Bets. What's good, Moose?
Glorious day today. Oh my goodness. The twins, the Mariners. Oh my goodness. Coming off of a really fun episode of smoking with Dutch and Cabby on the daily sesh. So right. I don't think I could literally be higher on life right now.
Great to hear. And got a first timer on the show. Not his first time doing this. Great capper. Been checking each other out. Noticed we've been DMing here a little bit lately. Y'all seen him in the chat. The homie picks from Dave. Dave, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you. I'm sure we'll do some work during football season, hopefully during the rest of baseball season. If your schedule permits, I'd love to have you on as much as you'd like to be on, my brother. Quick recap of yesterday. Moose, I want to ask you something real quick before I jump into that. I didn't know how to count the Dodgers game as far as our
mine were voided, so I capped it because of a lefty. So
I'm talking about show purposes because I didn't add it. Put it like that. I'll just say that I didn't add it because we had pitching changes, and I don't know how other people is on my app. I missed it for the Dodgers. You know, you have the pitcher must start option, and I clicked it this time. I got to start clicking. I keep telling myself that I need to do it every time. But so I got burned with it yesterday. But for show purposes, here on out, we don't have to say it. Like if there's a pitching change after the show, it's an automatic no count.
I mean, I get like
even if
football,
even if it goes for us, we're going to keep it fair across the board.
I think it's
change afterwards. We're gonna dismiss it.
Yeah, it's completely dependent on the pitchers. I mean, I get that in football, if the quarterback changes, like it's 100% fucked. But in baseball, you do have the option of saying, I want this bet only if these pitchers are pitching.
Right.
And all my bets are like that because I don't want to. I want at least if something changes, I want to be able to go back in and recap it. And when I recapped that game yesterday, I just didn't like it as much versus a righty, especially Jordan Hicks, who I kind of low key just really kind of like.
Yeah, I'm with you. And so, and you know, I base a lot of my cap. I always say I'm a trendy bettor. I follow trends, but the capping that, you know, the pitching is definitely a major part of the capping that I do for baseball. I mean, if you're not capping the pitcher, then like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not saying it has to mean everything, but it's a big part of what I look at when I'm capping baseball. What's up, man? I sent you the message. I don't know if you've seen it. But what's good, my brother? Y'all go check out the homie Span Overton. Please go follow Span and Grind Game Elite Sports. The man is an awesome capper. Grind is the game. Check him out. Soccer, tennis, like you can't miss him. He's year round. So please go holler at the homie and go follow his page. Show him a little love. But yeah, so with that being said, in that effect, Moose, you had a great day yesterday when you take away that. Take away that Dodgers action. You went 4-1 yesterday. Fantastic. I went 3-2. Could be better, in my personal opinion. But we'll take a winning day. I always take a winning day. It's always better to win than to lose. Overall, you know what I'm saying? 42-24. Moose is at 35-33. Grind Game is at 5-4. My boy Grind Game, he went 1-0 yesterday. He just did the Nerfy in the Mets and Braves game, and then the Mariners game got canceled. We were all on the Mariners. It was all the way around.
Yeah, well, I went back on that bitch today, and I fucking cash. Let's fucking go, Mariners.
So I know, man. I've been running like a chicken with my head cut off. Hey, bro, it's all good. We all got to grind, man. I was just telling those guys backstage, Moose and Dave, one day I'm gonna retire, and it's all the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be here all day. Y'all get tired of seeing my face. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good though. Yes, sir. All right, man. Let's keep it. Now that we got that out the way, because we're getting close to some of these games jumping off, let's jump right into it today. Let's start over here. Red Sox. and the Rays. Red Sox run line plus 1.5 is at minus 135. The money line for the Red Sox is at plus 173. Rays run line plus 1.5 is at plus 115. And the money line is at minus 183. Let's look into a couple. On the mound, we got Winikowski, Josh for the Red Sox, 3-3, 4.35 ERA. And McClanahan, Shane for the Rays, the ace in the hole, 9-3 with a 1.73 ERA. Couple extra factuals really quick before I let them take it away. Boston, they're 2-6 straight up in the last 8, 1-6 straight up in the last 7 against the Rays, 1-4 straight up in the last 5 on the road. Totals have gone over in 5 of the last 6 games, over in 4 of the last 5 against an opponent from the American League, but under in 4 of the last 5 games of playing on the road against those same Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays, let's look at their actual factuals really quick. Excuse me. They're 5-2 straight up in the last 7 at home, 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games against an opponent from the American League. Their totals have gone under in 4 of the last 6 games, 4 of the last 5 against Boston, but over in 8 of the last 12 against an opponent from the American League East Division. Moose, Red Sox, Rays. Got any action on this one?
I do have a little action on this. I did really want to play an under some way, shape, or form here, but Winkowski, or AKA Wink, I just didn't really want to back him too much. But there was one thing I did find when I was doing my little research on this, and that's that Winkowski has not given up a run yet this year in his first inning pitched. So if you're going to give me a Winkowski not giving up a run, and you got Shane Mac Daddy on the other side, I'll take a no-run first inning. I don't really ever play those, but that's something I gave out in the daily session. I'm going to give it out here. That is a play that I'm on today, a Nerfy for the Rays and the Red Sox.
All right, Nerfy. Dave, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I love this game, and it's for one reason. It's Shane McClanahan. I was talking to someone earlier, and I know there are other pitchers that maybe might be in the Cy Young discussion as a better pitcher, maybe Joe Musgrove, maybe Gonsolin. Moose and I were talking about that. We'll get into that when we go over the Dodgers game. But if I could have one pitcher, if I could choose one pitcher to start a pitching staff, it'd be this guy. And when you watch him, he's I don't know why he reminds me of RoboCop. He just does. I mean, just lasers that in there. It's just such a sweet pitch. But when he's pitching, I find a way to bet him. And it's borderline for me, but I took the Rays' first 5 run line at minus 120 is the best odds I can get. I know that's getting up there, but I don't see how. And Winkowski, his numbers are fine. That's not the point. But McClanahan's he's lights out.
Right. And I wanted the Rays here, but obviously I'm not going to pay 183 for it. It's just too much juice. I was thinking about I haven't made a move, but the way I was thinking it has to be a run line or nothing. But with the way that the Red Sox bats have been swinging lately, does that scare you, or are we just saying McMahon's so dominant that he's going to power through all this shit?
So I think, and I'm not one of these people that says, this streak is bound to end. I ride it until it dies. And if I jump off, I don't jump back on it. But I don't really see the Red Sox. I mean, I don't really see it as a streak. I know they're playing. The reason why I think people think the Red Sox are playing better is they played like ass the first part of the season. That, or comparatively to where people thought they should be competing, and which is their fan base mostly, because they're trying to compete against the best team in baseball every year. So I think they're doing better, but it's not. I think it's overshadowed, or it's kind of juiced up by how poorly based on expectations they were playing earlier in the year. So they are hitting above average, but Shane McClanahan's a different pitcher. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
What do you think, Moose? Can I trust this run line?
I mean, the Red Sox have hit McClanahan in a small sample size. Let me just pull it up really quick. Shane McClanahan versus the Red Sox. Come on. Oh, here it is. Devers is 429 against him. Verdugo 429. JD Martinez.
When it's this hot.
Is that
me?
No, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're good.
JD Martinez 375, Rob Refsnyder 400. So you do have guys that have had success off of Shane McClanahan, and that's one of the reasons why I really think the price is it's too much. I mean, I don't think it should be that much, and I think that just contrarian, the Red Sox run line is probably one of the better bets on it because it's probably going to be a close game. Boston's bullpen the last month or so, 3.51 ERA. They've got a 0.8 WAR, so they've been above average or above league average, and they've been pretty good recently. I don't know. I didn't want to take a side. I think the Red Sox run line is probably the better look if you're looking at a side because of the price that you have to pay if you're taking the Rays.
And I thought the same thing. I don't like the full game run line at all. I don't have a full game bet. That's why I took the first 5. And I'm looking at the Red Sox versus lefties the last month. They're batting 300 against them, and their WRC is where is that? I lost it.
Oh, I think I got you. 113.
Well, I have 143 against lefties.
Oh, anyway, we probably have different splits on the dates.
Yeah, maybe. I did 30 days, but either way, that does show that they're hitting lefties. I just think if you have, it's kind of like back when Kershaw was the best, teams that hit great against lefties still didn't hit him. He's still a great pitcher. So,
right.
Is it my favorite play of the day? It isn't, but it's definitely when I'm putting money on it. First 5, not the full game.
First 5, right. Yeah, I mean, that's the only. I mean, if you're not looking first 5, are you first 5 minus half a point or money line? Minus half.
Run line half a point, minus half a point. Yep.
Run line. Yeah, I mean that's the only way, in my opinion. Excuse me. That's the only way you can look at this run line full game, or even better, the first 5. Just take McClanahan and power you through. It's minus 125. I think I'm actually going to follow you on that. I'm looking at a total here of 6.5. Is that too low, or you guys think that's just about right?
It's Shane Mack.
No. It's not a horrible bet. If you put a gun to my head and said pick a full game total, it'd be the under.
You'd still go under the 6.5?
If I had to choose one side, I'm not going to bet either side. But if I had to lean away, it'd be an under.
Yeah, that's how I ended up on the Nerfy. I was looking for an under. The full game was way too low. First 5 was still too low. And then I looked at the Nerfy, and it was only minus 130. I was like, you know what? I'll take that. Especially when Winker hasn't given up a run yet in his first innings of any kind of appearance. And it's McClanahan who has a 3.18 ERA in his first innings pitch. So that kind of felt like the easiest bet for me when I was looking at the totals.
Okay, all right. So shout out to the homie LJ from H-Town, posting a couple plays.
What's up, LJ?
As I like to call him, the statistician. My brother, I'm going to hit you up a little later on. We got to figure out what's going on. I got to get you back on the show. But y'all go check out LJ. Go follow him, man. He gives great numbers. He breaks down these games in ways that a lot of people probably don't, and his stats are amazing. As I like to call him, the statistician.
Yeah, he's all about the Angels tonight too. He's all on the Angels.
Yeah, you remember I said this last week, but we're going to get to that game. But I'm Angels are a fave for me, except when Ohtani.
Yeah, no, I was joking.
He was joking. He said he's going to bet the Astros blindly.
As a matter of fact, fuck it. I normally save them for last because they're the hometown.
Going right into it, right?
But since we're discussing it anyway, let's go. I mean, so, and I want to start because I always list. I consider you guys the baseball experts, so I kind of like to hear what you say before I give my set, so it doesn't seem like I'm telling you guys all the time. So it's no secret. I mean, well, actually, because like I said, been saying the Angels for me have been this is how I've been playing the Angels. Fade them unless Ohtani's pitching, and obviously we know I take the Astros all the time, hometown team. So now I'm kind of in a conundrum. Like, I think I use that word right.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, appreciate it. So you got Ohtani and you got my fucking Astros. And when I first looked at it, I was kind of like, what the fuck am I going to do? But We gonna pop the fuck out of Ohtani. I don't give a fuck about no Ohtani. Fucking hate the Astros. I'm not going against my Astros. I know the numbers are gonna suggest that Ohtani is lights out. I think I was on listening to the daily session with Cab. I know he gave out a stat like Ohtani hasn't given up a run in like his last 3 starts or something.
Yeah,
like
his
that.
last 3 starts.
And I've been on that wave. Like I said, I've taken Ohtani. That's the only time I take the Angels is when he's pitching, and I think I've called his last 3 starts, if not 3, definitely his last 2 starts. So I've been riding that wave. But when it comes to these Astros, Moose, I don't know if I'm biased. Maybe I am.
You don't know if you're biased? Are you kidding me?
No, I don't know. I do not know. I
Okay,
do
I'll
not
tell
know
you,
if
you
I'm
are.
biased. They're only the best team in baseball.
No, you're biased.
Say, man, I don't know if you can see it because it's black. You know what I'm saying? But this is where I'm going. Full game. I definitely wouldn't take the first 5. Obviously, I do. I don't think Ohtani's no slouch, man. He's lights out. I will, agree that. And this isn't just a, run of the mill pitcher or whatever. He's a legit fucking star and has legit fucking stuff in this league. But I just think overall, and with the Angels bats, this is not going to be a high scoring game. If we're hitting, we can win 2-0, 2-1. We have one of the best bullpens in baseball, not the best, but we have a very strong bullpen. Our bats are finally coming at the beginning of the season. We were like up and down, night and day. You didn't really know what we're going to get. I think we're getting more consistent on the batting end. We're batting 245 now. Earlier in the year, we were at like 220, like down there with the A's. So the bats are starting to come alive. We're slugging at 430. The Angels are only slugging at 386. They're on and one thing I don't bet, and I don't bet teams that's on losing streaks. I don't bet the streak to end. When it ends, then I'll look at them, or if the matchup suits it. But they're on a 5-game losing streak, and they're playing one of the better teams in baseball. For me, I'm just all over when's the next time we're going to get an Astros money line at 103? So I know it's Ohtani. Unless he's going 9 in unless he's going to deliver a full game and pitch his ass off, then yeah, I get it. But I'm on those Stros, man. Dave, do you have anything on this? Take it away.
I do. I'm actually an Angels fan. Now, I'm going to preface this first time on the show. I have no problem betting against any of my teams.
Oh, me neither.
I grew up in Orange County, so I'm an Angels fan, and it's been a rough year. There are real high expectations, and Ohtani's definitely been good. I'm not going to pick a side in this game. I wouldn't bet against the Astros, and I wouldn't bet against Ohtani, so I couldn't tell you there. And I'd probably lean towards the under, maybe even the first 5 under. And I haven't really even looked at that bet, but just in talking about it, the reason why I didn't look at it is the bet that has my eye is the Angels, no matter who they're playing, they're still striking out. And they're playing against a pitcher that can strike guys out. And I don't like where the plus money what was that?
You made me think about the K-prop. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's where I'm going is the K-prop. Christian Javier, the plus money starts at 8 strikeouts, so it's starting up high. But this dude, if you look at some of his past games, 12 strikeouts, 13 strikeouts, I mean, he'll be able to get to the Angels. And so I think you could do a ladder bet or just even take 8Ks. It's at plus 100 right now. That's where I'd start. But that's my bet in this game.
Okay. Moose money.
I mean, hey, Span, I'm not sure if you remember, but my bet would have been Cubs first 5 plus a half. That would have cashed. That would have hit. So that was my whole reasoning is I didn't really want to take them on the full game money line, but I thought the first 5 was a great play. And it turned out
you talking about the Cubs or the Astros?
Yeah, he's talking about the Cubs. He was talking about the Cubs and the Orioles yesterday. So I just want to make a quick little note, like, hey, that first 5 bet was a cash. So that shit hit, and that's kind of what I was looking at. But for this game, I laddered Garcia yesterday up to 8. I got 7 of them. I do not hate a Javier K prop today. I took the first 5 under 4 because first off, Trout not likely in the lineup today. So you take out basically 3/4 of their run production, and the other quarter is Ohtani, or however you want to put out your ratios. But I'm going to take an under with Ohtani on the mound versus an Angels lineup without Trout. So first 5 under 4.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. First 5 under 4. Loving it. I'm loving it. I was looking at a full game total. I didn't make a move on it. What do you think? Any thoughts on it, or are you just going to ride?
Angels bullpen, absolutely not. Angels bullpen, absolutely not.
Right.
What are the odds at four right now? Do you know?
And what?
What are the odds in your bet, Moose? Do you know?
I got it yesterday at minus 120. I think it was minus 125 earlier today, but I would imagine that it's getting heavy juice.
It's down to 3.5 runs. That's why I didn't bet it. Now that I think about it, it's down to 3.5. So.
Yeah, I got it last night, and I know Jimmy the Bag got it too at minus 120. So it was on Bet Online where I saw it, and that's where I grabbed it.
Yeah, and normally I do overnight lines. I look at it and stuff. I've been so hectic at work and shit, and I just haven't been able to make many overnight plays like I do. Because that's
when Trout goes down, automatically take the Angels team total under or a full game or a first 5 under, because
that tells you he's probably not in the lineup if it went from 4 to 3.5, or that could be.
Yeah, he's got back spasms, and they pulled him mid-game. And the only reason the Angels scored runs last night, I'm not sure, Marley, if you even watched the game, but the Astros were on a mission to lose. I mean, Bregman made a brutal error.
Messages like the fucking Astros tried to give it away. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I was pissed.
4:30 comes early. I get up at 4 every morning, so that shit comes fucking early. So
I wanted somebody to have I wanted a sympathetic ear for what I was watching, because it was brutal. It was really bad. But the Astros don't play defense like that all the time, and it was the pitcher throwing a ball away and Alex Bregman throwing a ball away. So I don't think that the Angels' runs were all that repeatable. I really think it's a low-scoring game here today.
All right. I'm with you. I'm just gonna ride the money line, take my Astros. Hopefully Ohtani has a shitty day. Well, not too shitty, because I want you to hit your first 5 under. So I hope he starts hot and then they start to touch him up in like the 6th. How about that?
That's fine, as long as I hit an under.
Yeah. I just want you to get your under. Then after that, I hope he tag his ass so I can come on here and talk shit tomorrow about my goddamn Astros. Because I will do that. I can't wait. See, y'all lucky it's baseball season right now. Y'all getting like calm, cool, chill, Marty. Like none combat. I don't have people in the comments talking shit about my plays that where I'm gonna come back the next day and get on their ass. I will call you out. Like it's all good and fun though, because it's all fun. It's never serious. But football season come around, we talking cash money shit over here at Brothas N Bets. Please believe that. It will be some shit talking and going on. I'll be calling people out like we can bet personally straight up, because even though I really just like to beat Vegas. That's why I do this. I want all of us to be Vegas, but people talk so much shit sometimes. When you're giving out free picks, they expect you to be Jesus sometimes. And, we make mistakes too. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know.
Tell them to put their face out there instead of a cartoon character or a logo.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just hype about football, man. My little league starting up, so we've been talking football like every day, and I know it's around the corner because I've been talking football on the baseball show like every day. I'm just getting fucking hype about it. I'm sorry. Let's keep it going though. Let's stay on MLB where we're at. Dabby, what's up, my guy?
Yo,
go check out. I hope y'all. As we said earlier in the show, man, check out the daily sesh on Pup Sports Radio Monday through Friday, or is it Saturday? You know what I'm saying? Follow the homie Dabby Cab. What you laughing about, Cab? Let's keep it going though. Great crew. Appreciate that, Cab. Yeah, man, honestly, I like the way shit is flowing right now. It's good. I'm feeling it. I'm digging it. Let's keep it going. I know Dave brought this up earlier, so let's jump on this right now. We got the Dodgers and the Cardinals right now. Let me pull it up. We got the lines at, there we go. Sorry, guys. My mouth flipping back and forth. Dodgers run line -1.5 is at +105. The money line is at -150. Cardinals run line +1.5 is at -125. The money line is at +140. We got a total of 8 right now. On the mound, we got Gosselin Goslin. I don't know if I said his name wrong. All right. Tony.
Goslin.
God damn it. Tony G. There we go. Tony G. 11-0. ERA is at fucking 1.62. Definitely has to be a contender for the Cy Young the way this man's pitching right now. For the Cardinals, we got Mr. Wainwright. OG's 6-7, but he's actually pitching pretty good. 3.15 ERA. Couple of extra factuals really quick. Dodgers 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games, 8-4 straight up in the last 12 games against St. Louis, but 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games on the road. 2-8 straight up in the last 10 games when playing on the road against the Cardinals. And their totals is gone over in 6 of the last 9 games against an opponent from the National League Central. Same Cardinals, 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games, but 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games when playing at the crib against those LA Dodgers. 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games against an opponent from the National League West Division, and their totals all unders. 12 of the last 14 games against the opponent from the National League has went under. 6 of the last 7 at home has went under, and 9 of the last 10 has went under. You know what's pissed me off about that? I took the under yesterday, and guess what happened? Fucking game goes over. Of course it does, right? But, you know, you calm down. Dave, take it away.
I'm going to let Moose hit this game first. We were talking about this last night, and he turned me on to it, so I'm going to let him roll.
Yeah, I got the Dodgers. I got the Dodgers first 5, which I was hesitant to get to because of how successful Wainwright has been at home. But I took Dodgers first 5 -0.5, and then I also took Dodgers full game money line and run line. Big advantage, I believe, in the bullpen right now. The Dodgers bullpen has been pitching really well. I know that they didn't really pitch all that successfully last night, but overall, I'm going to take the Dodgers bullpen over the St. Louis Cardinals bullpen. I'm still a big believer in Gonsolin. I know that he hasn't he doesn't really pass the eyeball test necessarily in terms of how much how hard he throws the ball and just kind of overall how nasty he looks, but he is a really nasty pitcher. Like, that ball moves a ton, and even though it doesn't have that electric movement that you might see from like a Charlie Morton or a Jose Barrios, it is still a very good pitch, and I've always liked him even when he was a long relief guy. So I'm going to take the opportunity to back him here, especially when it's at a price that I think is just a little too low. I thought that it should be a -160, -170, and when I got it last night, it was at about a -140, which I got at when did I get that at? I got it at -145, and I just thought that was too low of a price for a Dodgers team that I just think is just too good and has too much success individually against Wainwright.
I got you, my brother. Dave.
Oh, I'm on the under 8 too. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
So that's what I thought he was going to say. We were talking about this last night on DMs, and I like the under. We were talking about Gonsolin, and for me, I'm a big eye test guy, and he's good, and I've liked him. It just blows me away at how good his numbers are. When you look at guys like Shane McClanahan or Joe Musgrove, who pass the eye test and just look like a more talented pitcher. But Gonsolin's really, it's amazing. So big ups to him. If I had to lean, I'd lean the Dodgers. I don't even bet -145 price. I don't care who it is. So I like the under in this game. Also, Adam Wainwright at home, old man Wainwright. We know he's a home guy, and you really shouldn't be betting against him. You know, it is the Dodgers, maybe the Dodgers or the Yankees, the Astros or someone. But Wainwright is a guy that doesn't give up a lot at home. So when I looked at these numbers, first 5 was 4.5 runs, -122. Full game's 8.5 at -115. I'm going to go full game under 8.5 runs for this. And to talk about the bullpens, by the way, I know Moose said that take the Dodgers bullpen, but the past 30 days, if you put ERA, WHIP, and opponent's batting average together, the St. Louis is second, and Dodgers are 5th. So we're talking about elite bullpens the past 30 days for these squads. So I don't think a lot of runs are scored. And one more thing. The reason why last night runs were scored, the Dodgers are a team that are built to come back from an early deficit. The Cardinals aren't. So if the Dodgers get out to a big lead, I don't think the Cardinals score. They're just not that kind of team.
I agree.
Yeah, and to that point, these bullpens have 3.02 FIP and a 3.27 FIP. That means that you're looking at just some ridiculously low numbers when teams are able to put the ball in play, that they're just not having a lot of success even when they're making contact. Yep. So I do really like the under. It is surprising that the under has gone up. that the over is taking money. That is a little surprising to me. I get that it's hot, humid, but it's still tough to hit a ball. Like, just putting the ball up with enough force can be difficult. So I do like the under here a lot.
Let me ask you this, Dave. You caught it at 8.5. My books are showing 8 right now. Do you still recommend the 8?
Yep. This should be. I mean, this game is probably like a 5-2 or 4-2 Dodgers win. That's probably what it is. I mean, anything can happen, but I mean, if you're looking at you're looking at one of the best pitchers in baseball versus one of the best career pitchers at home, and then 2 awesome bullpens. And also, oh, by the way, the Cardinals haven't been, blasting off on offense. I mean, last night was an aberration. This is a team that struggled to score runs. So.
Okay, so I agree with everything you say. I already bet the money line for the Dodgers. I jumped back on the under again. I was on it last night, obviously, with the pitching change that changed shit up, and they jumped on the Dodgers early. And I agree with you too, Davis. The Dodgers are built to come back. So I knew my over was done when I seen the Cardinals up like 5 or 4, whatever it was early when I was glancing at it. But all the numbers say that the Cardinals are definitely an under team with both of these pitchers. Wainwright at the crib, Tony G, the way he's been pitched, like you say, he doesn't have the look of a Musgrove or somebody, but the numbers say he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball this season. So, Moose, I'm looking at an under 4 in the first 5 at plus 100. Should I jump on that?
I don't hate that. I'm not on it just in case the Dodgers do jump on Wainwright early. That's the only thing that I do worry about.
Wainwright at the crib, though. He's been pitching good. He's the OG. He still got something left. He's been pitching pretty good this season.
Yeah, it's just individual numbers versus him. Trey Turner, 409. Justin Turner, 364. Jake Lamb, 375. Muncy, 286.
Wow.
So they've had some individual success. That's why I'm off of it here. But Wainwright at home with Yadier Molina, I'm telling you, like, there's some mental thing that goes on there that those two get a connection going on, and they sequence hitters at a very elite level. You're not going to see many sequences put on hitters that are done the way that Yadier and Wainwright do it. I mean, they just do it at such a crazy good level. So I do see a lower scoring game, but I wouldn't be shocked if all of a sudden the Dodgers are out 5-0 right away. That just wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so the way you guys are talking, I've already taken the money line. It's making me want to jump on the run line, or am I getting greedy?
I'm on it. I'm on Dodgers first 5, Dodgers money line, Dodgers run line. I'm on all of it.
The Dodgers are going to win this game, and if it was a suicide pool or something like that, this would be a game to pick. I don't take run lines, but let me say this the right way. I don't take favorite run lines at negative odds. You have to be giving me plus odds to take.
How big of a plus? Because I'm getting 105. I agree with you.
Minus 105?
Yeah. No, I'm getting plus 105.
I thought the Dodgers were a minus run line.
Let me
that's a great bet.
Let me double check. Yeah, I'm getting minus 1.5 plus 105.
I'd take that bet. In fact, I think I'm going to bet it.
Yeah, it was plus 115 last night when I grabbed it.
Really? I must have been sleepy or something.
Okay, so I'm going to jump on that instead of that first 5 under. So I was already on the money line and the under with you guys. Moose, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, well, this is where somebody usually in the chat, like anytime you talk Dodgers win percentage by the run lines like 95%. Like this is where somebody's supposed to drop that in there.
Here's what we can here's the thing about the Dodgers. If you were a capper that just capped the Dodgers last year and you bet their money line every single game, they've won over 100 games, your record would be over 60%, but you would have lost like 2 units. So it's all about the odds. I mean, and that's why I hate people that post their records only and don't really, the guys that only take big money line favorites, because you can have a team that wins over 100 games, but it's a losing team on the year. So
yeah,
that's the Dodgers.
Hey, shout out to the homie DJ Big Boss and the Who Banging crew out there, friends of the channel. Big Boss, if you're still here, I'm going to DM you. Coach is sick, man. So I'm going to step in and do that college forum, the stuff y'all had planned for college football pre-show. I'm going to DM you today, bro, when the show's up. Look out for that. Yes, sir. My brother, Who Banging, West Coast in the house. Yeah, man. Y'all go follow Who Banging Sports, man. Let's keep it moving. So it looks like we're all on the Dodgers. We're all on the money line, run line, and under. I think everybody.
Are we all? Are we really all on that?
If we're writing this down, I'm
taking under right now, Dave. Do it.
I'm taking the full game under. Yeah. I'll take the full game under, and if we're adding bets, and then this is a new thing to me because when I post bets, it's all the night before.
So this is all just show purposes, you know. Okay. How I look at this now, you don't have to look at it the same way I do, but this is how I look at it. My plays that I give on my show are actually plays that I personally bet. I'm never giving out nothing that I don't bet. I keep up with the record just as, you know, what do we call it? I keep up with my record just to, just to let the people know how we're doing per se. I guess you could say it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, it means something to me as far as pride, but it's just keep up. I keep up with my work. But it's just show purposes only. So I'm only putting in plays that you suggest or that you give out to the people here. So if it's right now, I got you on Dodgers under 8. That's it.
You can throw me too. So just I do my plays. So any sort of betting advice, all my free plays that I put out there are all done the night before. It doesn't mean that I'm not putting in bets, and I would never give out advice that I'm not betting. That's 100% right.
And so since you do yours the day before, if you're adding something that we do here, it doesn't necessarily not count because I know you make your bets the night before. So that's all.
So I'll take the under, and then I'll add me on the run line. I'm going to bet that right now.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Let's keep it flowing. LJ and Big Boss. Yes, sir. Yeah, we all on those Dodgers, Big Boss. You already know that. And the homie LJ. All right.
Man, you got some heavy hitters in here.
Yeah. Man, y'all hit that like button, share, subscribe. Appreciate it. Your boy would appreciate it. Hope we giving out some great plays, great content on the channel here. And like I said, once football season starts, this shit is gonna explode. It's gonna take off. Nobody jumped on that but Moose. Dodgers first five, easy money off loss. I know. I'm gonna jump on that.
I was hesitant. It was tough to get on that Wainwright thing.
Yeah, I did because of Wainwright. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm too scared of Wainwright. I know the numbers are gonna suggest LJ because I know that's what you're looking at. You're the fucking statistician. The numbers are gonna suggest. This is where me and LJ go back and forth at times, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, this is one of those perfect situations where you can't always trust the numbers because the numbers say this, but they're going against Wainwright today. So those numbers aren't factored into they're going against a type of pitcher like Wainwright every time. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to look at the situation. And I'm not super comfortable with first five. As good as Tony G's been pitching, Wainwright scares me at the house. And the Dodgers bat sometimes can be on the road.
Yeah. What got me there was seeing how Wainwright's metrics have seemingly started to get a little bit worse. And you expected that kind of from him and Waka as the summer started heating up, that some of that soft contact would find its ways to a little bit more harder contact. And you've definitely seen that. His X slug is now 4.76. His expected ERA is 4.43. So that stuff is started to balloon up quite a bit.
I know you do, LJ. My bad, bro. It wasn't like a shot. My bad, my brother.
But that's what pushed me on. Like literally what LJ looked at, like if you're talking about like all that stats and all those metrics, that's literally 100% what pushed me on to this first five was all that kind of stuff.
All right. Let's keep. I think we only got like 2 games left, if I'm not mistaken. Let's keep it moving. I feel like today's been a pretty good show. I'm feeling today's vibes. I could be high, and I drink every show, so that could be true too.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you, bud. I'm all up in that cloud.
Yeah, I know. I saw you smoking. I don't know why it's weird because you never smoke on this show, but I saw you smoking on Daily Session. I'm like, damn, it's weird looking at Woo's fucking smoke.
I went hard in the paint. I went the entire time I was smoking. I didn't really stop.
Did you wear the gloves?
I did not. I did not have a hangnail like I did last time. Like I had a hangnail. Like it was just like
I feel you. They're giving you a hard time about it, but
I would have
you
gave you
did.
a hard time about it. I will give you a hard time about a hangnail if you're crying about it.
I was bitching and moaning about it. I was like, I get so weird with that kind of stuff. Like I'll chew on it and it'll get even more infected and it'll get like all pussy. And it's just like, I don't like that stuff. Like I'm not one of those guys that'll have a blackhead and just like pop it and look at it. Like I'm not one of those
it's
dudes
gotta
who
bleed,
like sniff
right?
it.
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't know. Moose. I'm an
It's gotta
electrician,
bleed.
man.
You gotta see blood before you stop.
Yeah.
Like, I work with
I
my
don't like
hands
seeing
on the
blood
daily.
either.
That's what I do, man. I got real man, rough, callous hands. I'm an electrician, though, man. I work with my hands on the fucking.
Yeah, I took care of my hands and my fingers when I was a pitcher. Like I would always be one of those guys like on the bullpen, just kind of like filing it down, just like, all right, it looks nice. Okay. I was 100% that guy, and I have not changed.
That's great. All right, man. Let's keep it going. A's and the Rangers. A's run line is at +1.5, -130. The money line for the A's fucking beat me yesterday, bitch ass A's. +171 versus the Rangers run line -1.5, +110. But we did hit that Rangers team total yesterday. Shout out to Dave. He was on that. Money line -181. And the total is at 7.5. On the mound today, we got Mr. Blackburn Paul killing it, 6-3 with a 2.90 ERA. For the Rangers, we got John Gray, 5-4 with a 4.03 ERA. Couple extra factuals. Oakland, 5-10 straight up in the last 15, 3-8 straight up in the last 11 against Texas, 2-7 straight up on the last 9 on the road. Totals are kind of up and down. I mean, all over the place. We got 8 of the last 10 have went under, but 6 of the last 7 against Texas have went over, but 10 of the last 13 against an opponent from the AL have went under. Very confusing numbers. Rangers, 4-8 straight up in their last 12, 3-6 straight up in the last 9 against an opponent from the AL. But this is where we get the consistency. 5 of the last 5 have went over. 5 of the last 5 against Oakland have went over. 6 of the last 6 at home have went over. 6 of the last 7 when playing at home against the A's have went over. Guess it's no secret where I'm going. What I'm back on, I'm definitely all over this over. Well, I take that back. I haven't made a play on the over, but I want to go over. But Blackburn kind of scares me. But the way the Rangers bats have been hitting, I kind of still want to take the over. I kind of want to. I haven't made a play on this game, so I'm asking both of you guys. These are the questions I'm going to ask. I kind of want to take the A's first 5 with Blackburn. I kind of want to take the A's for the full game, just value play with Blackburn on the mound. And I just feel like the value that we're getting with this pitcher is insane right now. Should I be on the A's or shouldn't I be? Dave, you start this one.
Well, I've been on the Rangers at home, this home streak series that they've been on, and I've been betting the team totals. I got kind of cute yesterday with the race 2 bet, race to 4. It was a little bit better odds. It hit the team. I didn't think they'd need to backdoor the total, which they did, and it was some stupid throwing error that the catcher missed that got the A's to 4 runs before the Rangers. But here's the deal: Paul Blackburn away, much better than at home. But also, this guy is the number 1 money earning pitcher first 5 innings, and it's probably because he's been he's a dog every single time. But he's 12-5, and if you bet I'll go units. If you bet him every time on the money line when he pitched first 5 innings, you're up 11.5 units on the season. How do you bet against that? I don't care how hard the Rangers are going. That's an LJ number right there. And
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm going, yeah. I maybe the definitely an over is a play here, a thought in my mind. But when I saw this game, there was one bet that I'm making almost blindly, and that's the A's first 5, and I got it at +142, which is plus money.
Amazing. Yeah. Great.
And you could even get the run line. I don't know what it is now, but you could get the run line at plus money too, +102 with plus half a run.
Moose, go ahead and give me your breakdown. I'll get those current lines right now.
I don't have anything on this, but I don't hate that first 5 look on Oakland at all. The only thing that kept me off of this, Dave alluded to it, was the Texas offense. Their offense has 119 weighted runs created over the last few weeks. That's really good. They hit really well last night. They've been hitting well the last couple of weeks, so I didn't really want to try to go up against it, even with Blackburn. If it was Otto on the mound like it was last night, 100%. But I like John Gray. I think John Gray is a pretty good pitcher. He's got one of those splits where his ERA is a little bit higher than his expected ERA. You look at what his expected batting average is on his different pitches. Expected batting average on his four-seam fastball, 295, which is below league average. 192 on his slider, which is a little bit above league average, but still, good. 243 on his changeup. I mean, those are good numbers and not indicative of the type of season he's had so far. I do try to back John Gray in certain spots. This is not one of them. This is definitely a lean to the A's, a lean to the under more than anything.
Lean to the A's, lean to the under. So those lines on the first 5, you can still get the run line plus a half a point at plus 100. The money line for the first 5 is at plus 150. I'm going to take my chances with the plus 150, man. Blackburn, he's just been dealing. Dave gave the number. What did you say it was if you were betting on him?
If you bet, he's 12-5 first 5 innings, and if you bet him every time he pitched on the first 5 inning money line, you'd be up 11.5 units.
There you go. I don't, like he said a while ago, I do not know how you bet against that. Even if it doesn't hit today, I'm not mad at the loss. I think it's a solid bet, especially for the value that you're going to get on this type of pitcher. I do agree with both you guys and Moose especially. The Rangers bats have been on fire. I mean, I was on Team Total yesterday. I know that was one of Dave's picks as well. I've been on overs with them for the last couple of games. They've been swinging like hell. Bats are on fire. I agree. However, this guy's been delivering, and I'm a trend guy and I'm a value guy, and where I see plus money, where I can get it, especially with the pitcher like this for this kind of value. It's kind of how I felt about the Astros. I know it's Ohtani on the mound. It's kind of a different scenario because you got Ohtani on the mound. Well, no, I'll liken Ohtani to the Rangers bats. It's kind of that scenario, but with the value alone that we're getting. I mean, I'm not telling you guys to go crazy, but it's plus money with the value. It's going to be I think I'm going to do half a unit on the I'm probably going to split it and do half a unit on the money line and half a unit on the run line just to cover my ass in case it's a push or something like that. I don't know. But I'm definitely I'm going to do half and half. That's how I'm going to do it. Half a unit.
Hey, Dave, I'm curious. Would you be able to put the numbers up for if you took out his home starts in that record for just betting him on the first 5?
You know what? I'll dive in. It'll take me a few minutes. I could dive into it, but why you're asking that is because he's better on the road, right? Yeah. Him being on the road makes me. So when I saw this, I saw Blackburn on the road, and then I said, okay, it's the Rangers that are hot, but it's still the Rangers. And he's not going against Shane McClanahan or Tony Gosselin, even though John Gray's a good pitcher. I pretty much bet this blind. I just needed to see how good the odds were.
Yeah. And a lot of it is also because I did it last night. I kind of feel like, hey, I don't really want to go back to that well. So that's also kind of playing into it, just as from a betting side. But I think you guys are right that it's definitely an A spot. But it is very much like the Rangers, just how I saw them hitting last night. They have some really good approaches. I mean, they were really getting on that fastball that was over the middle of the plate. So I just I couldn't do what you guys are going to do. But I definitely think you guys are on the right side of it.
All right, I appreciate it. What do you guys think about the overplay? I mean, it's kind of a Blackburn versus the Rangers bats kind of scenario. So I stayed away as of now.
Well, you see what you saw. I don't know if you watched the game. That game, so it was a very weird game. Semien hit a 2-run home run in the first inning, and I'm like, Rangers are going to score 10 runs. And then all of a sudden, there was a bunch of errors and stupid crap in the 4th inning that screwed up my race to runs bet. Then they tied the game up in the 9th inning. Then they scored, I think it was 8 runs in the top of the 12th or 11th. So, and that was the A's, the anemic A's. So I think anything can happen. I mean, I like the over. I'm not betting it, but I'm leaning over.
Right.
And it's not so much the first 5 innings. It's all the crazy shit that's going to happen in the back half of the game.
Yeah, I'm thinking I definitely would not be on the first 5 over, but I'm looking at this. But I know Blackburn's going to go probably deep into the game, so that's kind of the concern. He'll go 6.
I think so, at least.
Yeah, bullpens for Oakland has been better. Texas bullpen has been a lot better. So I'm actually on the other side. I lean under.
I'll stay away. I'll continue to stay away.
I'm not betting it.
I didn't bet it. Yeah, and it's not even a big lean. It's just like, yeah, it's probably an under. That's all it was.
Yeah,
face value. Look.
I'm just gonna stay on the first 5. I'm actually gonna take the money line.
If you're gonna split that bet, it might not be a bad idea to split it money line, run line.
That's what I did yesterday.
That's what I did. I'm gonna do money line for show purposes, but my actual bets I split. I just finished doing
the likelihood of a 1-1 game is pretty high.
Yep, exactly.
So, all right. We got one left. I don't know if you guys are gonna have a play on this one, but actually we have 2 left. If you guys want to do 2, you guys want to do 2 more?
And give it whatever. Let's go. Having a good time.
All right, cool. We'll do 2 more. First game we got.
That's already played.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask before I said 2 more because I knew one of these was like a 5-15 start. This one's still good, all right. I can't remember which one. Mm-hmm. All right, so we covered this yesterday, Moose, and I tried to tell you
what,
but the Orioles, man.
I didn't say anything. I just was saying first 5. That was my whole thing. First 5.
You didn't say it was a bad play. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying ride with me and get on this plus money wave that we're getting with the Orioles right now. They're undervalued. But let's go over the numbers really quick. And I haven't bet it yet, but I'm almost 1,000% sure I'm on the Orioles money line just because I'm riding that wave. But let's get into it. Orioles run line plus 1.5 is at minus 190. The money line is at plus 111. Cubs run line minus 1.5 is at plus 165. The money line for the Cubs is at minus 121. We're looking at a total of 9. On the mound today, we got Spencer Watkins. He's 2-1, 4.15 ERA, and Justin Steele for the Cubs. He's 3-5 with a 4.13 ERA. Couple actual factors real quick. Orioles 9-0 straight up in the last 9. However, 2-6. I believe that's 3-6 straight up in the last 9 games against the Chicago Cubs. 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games against an opponent from the National League. 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games against an opponent from the National League Central Division. Their totals gone over in 5 of the last 7 games and playing on the road against Chicago, but under in 5 of the last 6 road games and under in 14 of the last 20 games. Cubbies 0-5 straight up in their last 5, but 4-2 straight up in the last 6 at home. 4-3 straight up in the last 7 at home. 3-11 straight up in the last 14 games against an opponent from the American League, and their totals have gone under in 7 of the last 10 games and under in 5 of the last 7 games against an opponent from the American League East Division. Over in 5 of the last 7 games at home when playing against the Orioles, and over in 8 of the last games against the Orioles in general. Moose, do you have anything on this Cubs and Orioles game?
Well, I mean, first off, I bet you guys did you say what the road record last 10 has been for the Orioles?
No, but I believe you brought it up yesterday. If you want to give it,
yeah, I'll bring it up again. They have a losing record. They have a losing record on the road, so their winning streak happened at home, and I know I get it. The Orioles are just a wagon right now, latch on, let's go for a ride. But I am hesitant to back the Orioles on the road, but I'm not about to try to back the Cubs. I kind of thought this was an under spot more than anything. but I just stayed off. It's like you just said, all the overs, and the Cubs offense is doing pretty well. Orioles offense can be really scrappy, but I stayed off. But I would at least be a little bit hesitant if I was an Orioles backer, just to back them right now without at least acknowledging that they haven't exactly played on the road. That's the only thing. I'm not going to hate on the pick. I'm just saying, at least acknowledge like that they haven't exactly been great on the road recently. Oh shit! I didn't hear that. What?
You're muted.
You're muted, bud.
My bad. My mic got knocked out for a second. I knocked the cord out. Sorry about that. Dave, do you have anything on this?
I don't have a bet on this game. And the reason why is I'm staying away from that goddamn NL Central. I've been burned. I mean, the Cardinals, the Brewers. Don't even get me started with the Brewers. The Cubs, I'd probably bet the least of any team this year. I can get zero feeling on them, and I could care less. I mean, take me to a ball game at Wrigley Field, but watching them or betting them, I could give 2 squirts of duck shit. I don't care. But the Orioles, I was squirt. I was on that Orioles home win streak. I jumped off. I don't jump back on bandwagons. So you ride it as long as you're going to ride it. If I was still on it, I would.
Right.
But I was looking at these pitchers are a wash to me. I was looking at their stats. But the one thing is, I was looking at Baltimore versus left-handed pitching the past 2 weeks, and they haven't been so good. And Chicago versus right-handed pitching the past 2 weeks, they've been in the top third of statistical categories. Let me go to the Orioles versus left-handed pitching the past 2 weeks.
They haven't hit for average, but correct me if I'm wrong, they have at least had a little bit of power. Like I said.
Okay. So 201 average, 630 OPS, and 79 WRC plus. So they're not creating runs. So here's the deal: ride the wave because of the wave, but buyer beware. This could be the game.
Right. So I'm interested to hear your take on this, which is, you said you don't hop back on trends, which I don't know either. And what I mean by hop back on is, if I'm riding something and I think it's close to being over and I jump off and it continues, I don't jump back on because it kind of scares me. Is that kind of?
That's exactly what it was. So if it's, I'm not talking about you bet a team the first 2 games of a streak and then you realize after another game it's a streak and jump back. That's different. I jumped out the Orioles at home for 3 games. When they went on the road, or when they were about to go on the road, I think the last game. And by the way, they were playing the Angels too, my team. So
right.
So after I got off them, and they're at 5 or 6 games in a row, it's the superstition. It's bad luck to jump back on, because the first game you do it, it's going to be a loss.
Right. Yeah. I kind of live by that superstition, or I call them bet rules that I live by. But that's one of the things I do too. Like, once I jump off, I don't care how many games it goes after I jump off, but I just got a thing that soon as I jump back on, it's gonna fucking lose. So when I ride it until I'm done riding it. And the Orioles, man, I've been riding it. I understand exactly what you guys saying. That and Moose said it yesterday. That streak and everything that started, a lot of that shit happened at home, and
all of it.
Dave, well, not the last one, Moose.
Okay, all right, fine. We're gonna pick hairs here.
Chicago. Dave pointed it out himself. It was against the Angels, the last series. Anyway, so I'm very aware of that, but I'm just gonna keep riding this wave. I haven't jumped off yet, and I don't think this necessarily is the game to jump off. Not a believer in Justin Steele right now, even though Spencer Watkins is not. Like Dave said, they're pretty much a wash.
Yeah.
Right now, but with the way, I don't think the Cubs. I've said this earlier too. I mean, previous shows. I'm just not impressed with the Cubs, and I don't think they're a good ball club, honestly. And I've made money on I don't think the Orioles are necessarily a good ball club, but they're like a bet on team. They're like a spot bet team. I've made money off these guys this whole year time, catching them in certain spots. They're not a continually bet on team. Like I think I told Moose this the other day. I like to catch Creamer. I've caught him first 5 a couple times. I've caught Wells a couple of times. They're like spot bet teams. They're a decent team this year. I know they're used to being in the gutters of baseball. They're not the best team. I'm not saying they're a base team, but when people hear their name, Orioles, I think they get undervalued, and I think Vegas is undervalued. And I've been getting great.
You're spot on. You're spot on there, because if these two teams switched divisions and the Orioles got a couple more pieces, the Orioles could compete in the NL Central. The AL East is just a gauntlet, but the Cubs in the AL East would do worse, in my opinion, than the Orioles in the AL East.
Yeah. All right, man.
The Cubs can play better than they are playing right now. I mean, I'll say that they do have some talent.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think that wraps up the show. Let's do a quick recap real quick. Wait. Does anybody have any props? I assume you don't, Moose. You normally tell me before the show if you got any props.
I already cashed my K prop. I had the Josiah Gray K prop over 5.5, and I cashed that bitch.
Money. Good job. Dave, any props?
I don't wrote it down. I had a prop in the Angels game. Javier, 8 Ks plus 100. Yeah.
I normally don't write the props because I put the banners in as we're going, and I get fucked up writing all those props. Well, I started normally not with you guys, but I started doing that with LJ, and LJ always has fucking tons of props, and it was like, I can't write all this shit in these banners and keep up with the shit. So I normally don't keep up with the prop records. I just like to mention it for people that that make prop bets. So quick recap, Dave. Let me know if I got anything wrong. Picks from Dave's plays are as follows. First 5 in the Rays. We got a Dodgers under 8 and the run line, and the A's first 5. Am I missing anything that we covered here today?
I can still get Dodgers 8.5 at DraftKings, but
jeez,
nice. We can't do that here. Or
I know. I'm fine with 8, and you asked, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no, I'll put okay. Well, no, I'll put 8.5. But yeah, future reference. That's why I always ask first. But
I know Moose can't use it. I forgot Texas isn't.
Yeah, we suck here when it comes to betting. We're all
can't use it in Cali either.
Well, I'm lucky enough to where I just hop across the border and.
Oh, you're close enough to just.
Well, I'm in Arizona, so I'm right across the border from Laughlin, so I can go actually Arizona's equal to Nevada, but it wasn't at the time. I could just drive over 15 minutes to Laughlin, get on their IP address, make a bet, and
come right back over. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Moose money plays are as follows. There's a Murphy in the Rays Red Sox. That's no runs, first innings. People don't understand the lingo. Astros first. I don't know why I wrote first 4, but that's definitely a first 5 under 4 in the Astros Angels game. And he's on the Dodgers. That should be a trifecta, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
Moose.
Trifecta, money line and first 5.
Money line,
run line, first 5.
Let me change that to a try. And that's money line, run line, and first 5, correct?
Yep, correct.
All right. Bam. Dodgers try. Your boy. I got Astros money line, Dodgers money line, under 8, and I added that run line. I'm on the A's first 5 money line. Side note, I did take the run line plus 5 for plus money. Just not making an official play here. Orioles money line. I'm just on that wave, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not jumping off until I fall off. And that's cool because I would have made all this money and I'm not giving it back off one bet. So we're going to rock with that. Moose, tell the people where they can find you at, my brother.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Moose Money Bets. You guys can find me here pretty much every single week on Brothas N Bets, having a good old time capping the MLB car with Marley Bets. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Oh, and make sure you hit that notification bell because you have sometimes you might not know when we're popping off. When we go off a little earlier, sometimes you can watch it on playback. Maybe drop in your play, what it is you had in the comments section. But don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, if you want to have any kind of dialogue. I'm all about that knowledge, all about that communication.
Yes, sir. Mr. Picks from Dave. Tell the people where they can find you at, sir.
So Picks from Dave, that's my Twitter handle. I give out picks, free picks every night, the night before, usually between 10 and midnight Pacific time. So if you're East Coast, you can wake up to the knowledge. They're all 1 unit plays. Post my results there. Also, I have a YouTube channel, Picks from Dave, just getting that started. I'm doing 1 baseball video a day and more content there to come. And open to DMs on Twitter. Moose, Marley, and I talk all the time. So
appreciate both of you guys for joining me today. Moose, you already know what it is. You're a regular. Dave, man, anytime you want to do the show, I would love to have you. I appreciate it. I kind of liked how this all flowed today. I think it was one of the better shows of the MLB show. So I definitely appreciate you guys. As always, people, I am Marley Bets, and this thing right here is Brothas N Bets. And right down there in that box there, that's Moose Money Bets. And fuck, I was 2 days strong.
You're almost there.
We both fucked it up, man.
You did the wrong way to see. It's not as easy as you think.
I just go like, hey, he's right. Oh wait, no, that's
over here. Yep, over here is the homie Picks from Dave. Y'all go follow him. Check out his YouTube channel, man. He has great content. And as always, like today. Oh no, I messed that up. Like yesterday. Reset. There we go. Like yesterday. I did go 3-2, so we beat the books. Oh yeah, Moose threw on the lows. Like yesterday, the Stunner Shades. And like today, and like tomorrow. Y'all already know what it is, man. Let's beat Vegas. We out this
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems. We gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we make